Relationships between men and women have existed since the beginning of humanity. And even the Stoic philosophers did not overlook this subject. The truth is, not everyone is able to maintain balance in these relationships. For example, from what we have read, observed, or heard, we know that even the most famous individuals and great minds often fail to manage these relationships properly. That is precisely why this topic has remained relevant for centuries. Even today, the dynamics between men and women continue to interest us all. In this video, we will explore, through the lens of Stoic philosophy, 8 things men should never do in their relationships with women. Let me say from the start, ignoring even one of these behaviors can lead to serious consequences, despite the fact that each one is very simple. But when practiced, they strengthen your relationships, protect your inner peace, and help you project the image of a wiser, more thoughtful person. In short, if you learn and apply these principles, you will not only earn trust from your partner, but also enhance your own inner strength. If you're ready, let's begin. I believe this video will be valuable for every one of you. So make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share it so that others can benefit as well. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you'll be the first to know when a new video is released. The first behavior is this: never neglect a woman. Every woman wants to feel surrounded by care and attention. This is the way her nature was created. It is a natural need, a condition for opening her heart and feeling valued. Yet many men fail to understand this. Through small mistakes, they ignore this need, not taking into account what a woman says, feels, or desires. That is neglect. And neglect is the invisible enemy of relationships. Small acts of neglect may seem unimportant at first. For example, looking distracted while she talks, not asking about her day, or pretending not to hear her words. But remember, even small drops of water can carve through stone. When women open their hearts, a partner's indifference wounds them deeply. It weakens not only their spirit, but also the bond between you. Imagine this: she is sitting with you, sharing her most sincere feelings, while you answer half-heartedly, stare at your phone, or just say, "Yeah, I get it," without real attention. These careless responses send her the message that she is not valued. According to Stoic philosophy, attention and respect reveal one's character. A wise person shows greatness in simple actions. The Stoic approach teaches that showing care and respecting the feelings of the other gives you strength and keeps relationships healthy. No matter how intelligent or skilled you are, neglecting a woman puts you at serious risk of losing her. Ignoring her emotions will gradually make your connection cold and distant. On the other hand, giving attention may seem simple, yet its impact is powerful. Listening, looking into her eyes, valuing her words, and making small thoughtful gestures like asking about her day or surprising her with something little revive the relationship. She feels it, and it builds trust, respect, and closeness toward you. Remember, neglect is not only dangerous in romantic relationships, but in all human connections. Listening, caring, and appreciating are among the most important principles in Stoic philosophy. Attention, respect, and care are direct reflections of your character, morals, and inner strength. Another dimension of giving attention to a woman is active listening. This is not just about hearing her words, but truly understanding them, why she feels as she does, what she means. This is one of the most vital principles for maintaining a healthy relationship. Never forget, neglecting a woman may seem like a small thing, but its effects are enormous. Every word, every action touches her heart and either strengthens or weakens your bond. So always be attentive. The second behavior is this: never lie to a woman and always keep your word. For every woman, trust is the foundation of a relationship. Even a small lie can weaken this foundation. Men often think, this is just a small thing, it doesn't matter. But women notice the details. Even the smallest lie shakes her trust and creates an invisible distance between you. In Stoic philosophy, honesty is the foundation of inner freedom. To be honest is not only to keep your word, but also to stay true to your character. Every lie, every broken promise disrupts your inner harmony. The Stoics taught, honesty is a sign of inner strength and character. Keeping your word may look simple, but its effect is profound. For example, you tell a woman, "We'll spend time together today," but then you show up late, or get busy with something else without explaining. It may seem small to you, but she feels it. In her eyes, your trustworthiness weakens, and a seed of doubt grows in her heart. On the other hand, if you remain faithful to your word and act with honesty, her trust and respect for you grow stronger. Imagine you make her a promise but forget it. You see a flicker of disappointment in her eyes. It seems like a small moment, but in Stoic philosophy it holds great meaning. Keeping your word not only protects her feelings, it also strengthens your own character and inner power. Stoic teaching shows that even the smallest lie, no matter how trivial it seems, acts as poison in a relationship. Because women instinctively seek trust and honesty. They sense whether you are true to your word or not. Your own inner freedom also depends on this. Honesty preserves inner harmony, while lying weakens you from within. Every lie, every broken word, does not only reduce her trust in you, it also diminishes your self-respect. A relationship with a woman is not only a romantic bond, it is a bridge built on trust, respect, and mutual understanding. And even a small lie can fracture that bridge. Small lies and broken promises are poison to relationships. But honesty and keeping your word strengthen them, raise her respect for you, and highlight your character. Remember, honesty and reliability may seem simple, but they are the foundation of both relationships and inner strength. Always keep your word, avoid lies, and protect the trust she has in you. The third behavior is failing to control emotions. In every relationship, emotions play a critical role. Anger, rage, and groundless jealousy are not just temporary feelings. They are powerful weapons that can destroy relationships. Many men think, I have the right to my feelings, and believe it is normal to express them without restraint. But remember, your emotions should not control you. You must control them. The Stoic philosophy teaches that emotions are within your control. Your inner calm, wisdom, and actions are the true measure of your strength. Anger and rage may bring temporary relief, but in the long run, they cause deep wounds in a relationship. Jealousy undermines trust and creates anxiety and fear in women. Imagine this, you're in a romantic relationship with a woman. She spends time with her friends or achieves success at work. If you immediately react with jealousy, anger, irritation, or baseless accusations, this becomes a warning sign for her. In her eyes, you appear uncontrolled, a person ruled by emotions. This is a serious blow not only to the relationship, but also to her respect for you. The Stoic approach is the opposite. You become aware of your emotions and manage them. You notice jealousy, anger, or irritation rising within you, but you don't express it immediately. Instead, you take a deep breath, evaluate the situation, and respond thoughtfully. This is not only respect toward her, but also toward yourself. Instead of reacting in anger, ask yourself, what purpose does this feeling serve? Stoic philosophy teaches that recognizing and managing each emotion means inner freedom and wisdom. In relationships with women, mastering this skill makes you not only more attractive, but also more trustworthy and comforting to be around. Let's look at a practical example. A woman tells you about her achievement at work, and suddenly you feel jealousy. Why is she getting so much attention? If you don't turn that emotion into immediate words or actions, the situation remains calm. By staying supportive, understanding, and composed in her presence, you strengthen the relationship and increase her trust in you. On the other hand, uncontrolled anger, irritation, and jealousy create conflict, damage the relationship, and push her away. Women instinctively sense this. A man who can manage his emotions is reliable, respectable, and strong, but a man who is ruled by emotions appears weak, insecure, and unstable. The fourth behavior to avoid is belittling or criticizing a woman's thoughts. Words carry great power in relationships. Every woman has her own unique world, her own ideas and perspectives. Yet many men make the mistake of diminishing, dismissing, or disregarding her thoughts, opinions, or even her desires. Stoic philosophy teaches that belittling someone does not increase your own value. On the contrary, it harms both the relationship and your inner peace. Imagine this. You're having a conversation with a woman. She tells you about a difficult situation at work, sharing her perspective. If you react by criticizing or belittling her, saying things like, "You shouldn't have done it that way," or "You don't understand," you shake her confidence. In her eyes, you appear disrespectful, unsupportive, and unsettling. The relationship grows cold, trust fades, and she no longer feels comfortable around you. Now think about it. Moments like this happen often in daily life. A woman simply shares her thoughts, but men often rush to criticize. The Stoics said, True wisdom lies in using the power of words correctly. Every person's thoughts and world are valuable. When a woman speaks, listen without interrupting, and even if her perspective is different, approach it with understanding. Being able to say, "I see things differently, but your view is also valuable," shows deep respect and calmness in the relationship. Practical example: a woman tells you about her weekend experience. If you immediately criticize, "Why did you do that?" or "That wasn't the right thing to do," what happens? She withdraws, becomes defensive, and distance grows between you. But if instead you listen, show understanding, and express support by saying something like, "I see that must have been hard for you. I'm here for you," the relationship immediately strengthens. According to Stoic philosophy, your character is revealed through your words. Showing respect and understanding, and listening before criticizing, not only strengthens the relationship, but also demonstrates your inner calm and wisdom. At the same time, belittling or criticizing a woman's thoughts doesn't just harm her, it drains your own energy. The more negative your reactions, the weaker and more unsettled you become. The Stoic approach teaches that inner calm and respect empower not only the other person but also yourself. This doesn't just damage the relationship, it shapes your own character as well. Every insult, every dismissive word disrupts your inner balance. Silence, respect, and understanding, on the other hand, make you stronger, more centered, and more balanced. That's why belittling or criticizing a woman's ideas destroys relationships, drains your energy, and drives her away. Listening, understanding, and respecting, however, strengthen the bond and reinforce your inner calm and wisdom. The fifth behavior to avoid is violating a woman's boundaries. Every woman has her own boundaries in her personal life, her thoughts and her emotions. These boundaries protect her comfort, safety, and inner balance. Yet some men ignore them, cross the line, act impatiently, or try to control everything. Stoic philosophy shows us that respect and self-restraint are the strongest foundations of any relationship. Imagine this: a woman shares her private thoughts, feelings, or something personal happening in her life. If you immediately invade that privacy, try to change her, or even disrespect her personal space, the result is discomfort, coldness, and sometimes even fear. Crossing boundaries often leads to the collapse of trust in a relationship. Stoic philosophy teaches that a person's boundaries protect their inner values and identity. Respecting those boundaries shows your wisdom, empathy, and inner strength. Violating them, on the other hand, harms not only the woman but also your own character. It makes you appear uncontrolled, inconsiderate, and even disrespectful. Respecting a woman's boundaries not only preserves her comfort but also protects your own inner peace. The Stoics taught that we cannot always control external events, but our own actions, words, and attitudes are within our control. Respecting boundaries demonstrates that you are wise and balanced. Sometimes respecting boundaries may seem simple, like not interfering with her private messages, acknowledging her boundaries at work or in social life, or listening to her opinions without forcing your own. Yet this simple step makes a huge difference in a relationship. A woman feels comfortable around you, trust grows stronger, and the bond becomes more resilient. The sixth behavior you must avoid is trying to change her. One of the most common mistakes in relationships is attempting to mold someone into the version we think they should be. Many men try to control a woman's habits, choices, or thoughts, hoping to fix her. But here's the truth: no one can force another person to change. Stoic philosophy teaches us an important lesson here. Accept others as they are and focus on improving yourself. That is the key to inner peace and balance in relationships. No matter how hard you try, you cannot completely change another person's thoughts or behaviors. On the contrary, such attempts only create tension, conflict, and loss of trust. Imagine this: a woman makes a decision or behaves in a way that feels different from what you expect. If your immediate response is to say, "You shouldn't do that," or "Do it my way," what happens? She becomes defensive, uncomfortable, and perhaps even distant. What starts as something small can escalate into a major conflict. The Stoic approach is different. It says you can only control your own thoughts and actions. Trying to change others drains your energy and disturbs your inner peace. A wise person realizes, I cannot change her, but I can control my reactions, my words, and my attitude. According to Stoic philosophy, the greatest wisdom in relationships is to accept the other person as they are. This is not only respect toward the woman, but also protection of your own peace of mind. Trying to change others only leads to stress and conflict. The Stoic way is clear. Focus on your own growth, be honest and respectful in your words, and avoid interfering with others' choices. Such an approach protects both you and her, building long-term trust. Excessive jealousy and control form the seventh behavior you must avoid. In many relationships, jealousy and the need to control are the root causes of problems. It often begins with small doubts, but eventually poisons the entire relationship. If you constantly monitor her every move, asking, "Where were you?" or "Who were you talking to?" "What do you achieve?" she becomes uneasy, you lose her trust, and distance grows in the relationship. Stoic philosophy teaches a very simple truth here. You can only control your own words, actions, and thoughts. You cannot control another person. Every attempt to do so only brings conflict, anxiety, and inner stress. Imagine this: she wants to meet her friends, but you object, asking endless questions. As a result, she feels uncomfortable, and you feel frustrated. In reality, you are the one who loses, wasting your energy and damaging the relationship. The Stoic perspective says jealousy is a sign of weakness. A strong and wise man understands that everyone has their own world and the freedom to make their own choices. By letting go of control, you protect her freedom and restore your own peace of mind. Jealousy and control poison relationships. Stoicism shows us that instead of trying to manage another person, focus on managing yourself, building trust, and keeping the bond healthy. If you master this, both you and she will feel more secure and at ease. Finally, the eighth behavior to avoid in a relationship is forgetting gratitude and appreciation. Many men overlook one of the simplest yet most important aspects of a relationship: being thankful for the love, attention, and efforts of the woman. Some think it's normal, it's her duty, or it doesn't matter. But Stoic wisdom teaches us that every gesture of love, every small act of care must be appreciated. Gratitude reflects the strength, respect, and depth of one's character. Imagine this: she cooks a meal for you, surprises you with something thoughtful, or simply says she is happy to have you by her side at the end of a long day. If you ignore it, fail to thank her, you create emptiness. She may feel unvalued, and you lose respect in her eyes. The Stoics remind us, value every moment of life, accept every gift, notice every support, and be grateful. Gratitude is not only expressed in words, but also in actions. A simple "thank you, this means a lot to me," or "you make me happy," can work wonders in a relationship. It strengthens her feelings and builds your character. Forgetting gratitude is a big mistake. Stoicism shows us that every bit of love and care must be noticed, appreciated, and honored. Gratitude is respect for her, and at the same time, it safeguards your own peace and happiness. By following these 8 principles, you protect your relationship and maintain your inner balance. Stoic wisdom reminds us that respect, patience, and right action always hold lasting value. If this video has been helpful for you, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like, share, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next wisdom-filled videos. Every new video is a new lesson and experience for you. Until we meet again in the next one,